like loading the box, but we were getting movement interior like we haven't this year. So that's why, even though they were putting extra guys in the box, we were doing a really good idea of IDing certain people and making sure that each gap was accounted for.
You mean you were getting push when you were talking about
Yeah, we were
interior
getting a lot
movement?
of push.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, I didn't see more than 6 guys in the box a lot of the game.
Yeah, and we took advantage of it.
Yeah,
Tyler Bowen
yeah.
did a great job calling this game. They were dropping a lot of guys in coverage.
Yeah.
I love passing the ball, but at the same time, whatever we got to do to win the game, we got to win the game. So, I could care less if I have 0 yards passing or 500 yards passing. We're Cotton Bowl champions, and that's what matters.
Sean, summarize this week, the Cotton Bowl, and ending in the win.
It's been a great experience. Something that I'll never forget, for sure. And I think that it's one thing with the win. I think that tops it off. But I think it's the little things. Thinking about like the events that I went to. Rooming with Michael Schuster, someone who I've been with now my whole career here. Thinking about him leaving is just super sad. And I've been holding back tears and everything. Just thinking about all that stuff. So love this team, love these guys, and yeah.
Sean, it was a tough offensive start, but how did the short punts that Memphis had in the second quarter allow you to finally gain momentum on offense?
I think a lot. Field position, we talk about the field position battle all the time, and that came into play a lot today. We started, correct me if I'm wrong, like at least 2 or 3 times around our 50-yard line, which, when you only have to go half the field, that helps a lot. When you're backed up, it always, you could ask any offense in the country, that's not as fun of a situation as when you're right there in front of the end zone. So, our defense did a great job this today, and gave us a chance to got a score, which was a huge turning point in the game, and just proud of our team and just proud to be a captain of this team.
Offenses have evolved, obviously, in college football. Did you anticipate needing 35, 40, 45 points to beat this Memphis team? You knew they were explosive.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. We'll do whatever it takes, and that's really I say that, and people think that I'm joking, but at the same time, if we had to score 100 points to win this game, we would have scored 100 points, and we would have found a way. So, but again, it's tough to sit here and talk about that when you got a Memphis football team that's so talented. They move. They had a lot of good looks. Their coaches put them in a lot of good opportunities to succeed, and then at the same time, their offense was moving the ball a lot too. So give them a lot of credit, but at the same time, I'm just very proud of this team.
A lot of people talk about the 4 running back system. You're the one that gets to hand it off to them and then watch them disappear in the distance. You got all of them were effective today. Talking about the performance from those 4 guys.
Yeah, I find it funny how people talk about the 4 running back system and how it can't work, but then you come out today and you run the ball for 350 or whatever we did. So there's that.
Yeah.
I'm about done with that statement.
Cotton Bowl champs, this is another building step for this team. We talked at Media Day how you personally are looking at evolving into next year, but the team in general, that next step, getting a New Year's Six Bowl win.
Yeah, it's hard not to look and look toward the future. Obviously, just enjoying this time with all these guys. These are the things that I dream about when I was a kid, playing in bowls like this. Winning a bowl game is always a good catapult into next year, and definitely excited for what lays ahead. But at the same time, just trying to live in the present, enjoy this time, and send these. I'm just glad we sent these seniors off the way we did.
Sean, how critical was the offensive line today, and then also how much did they improve this year, and what can you say about them?
Yeah, they from the first game against Idaho to the last, they've had my back. The leadership in that room, like I was saying, Menet, Gonzo, who's someone who I'm going to miss a lot, Fries, all those guys, done a hell of a job this year. When I was a very inexperienced quarterback at the very beginning of the year, they had my back, and when I'd say I have a lot more experience under my belt at this point, they still have my back, and that's not going to change. It's one of those things too. That's very cool. The game of football gives you, a lot of great relationships, and it's one thing for them to have my back in that game, but I know 4 years down the line I could call Steven Gonzalez up and he'll have me no matter what. So it's cool to build those relationships, and I'm just proud to be a captain of this team. I don't know if I've ever been more proud in my life of a team. So.
How much fun is it to play in a game like that where there's a lot of back and forth? I mean,
Yeah.
I know you'd probably prefer a blowout win, but you were having to match what Memphis was doing offensively.
No, and yeah, I mean, we do whatever it takes. We talked about it early. We had to dictate the game up front and then on offense. And, I think that we did a good job of doing that. A little bit of everything, running the ball, passing the ball, and, just converting when we needed to. So I'm just, again, very proud of our offense.
One last thing. What makes James Franklin a great head coach in your opinion?
It's hard to just, describe Coach Franklin in one sentence or, just say it like, oh, this is what makes him great. If I had to put one thing on, it's probably just how he comes into work every day. There's not one day that I come in and he's not pushing me and he's not pushing himself. That's why this program keeps where they are, where we are. And I think that, that's why Coach Franklin's such a great coach is he holds everybody accountable, but it all starts at the top with him. And, I have all the trust in the world that, I had all the trust in the world in him in this year, when he elected me to, be a captain of this team and the starting quarterback. That's a great honor from a great coach. And then, I have trust in him for the future. So I'm just really proud to be a part of this team.
Do you think something like his qualities would translate to the NFL level? I know he has NFL experience, but would something like that translate as well?
Don't leave for the NFL. Stay here. But yes, yeah, he could coach wherever. I'm sure he can. But
Have you ever seen a performance like the one Micah had tonight?
I mean, it's hard to watch both. I'm getting a lot of checks and everything, but when you look up at the jumbotron and you see 11 up on there and a lot, he should have had a pick too. Just saying, but he's Journey Ditto's that
PBU guy, huge PBU guy.
huge PBU guy.
Huge PBU guy.
It should have been actually 6 points too, buddy. Did I score a touchdown? All right, we're not gonna do this. We're champions. Love you, boss. Hey, love you, Sticks. All right. Anyways, what was the question?
Just have you?
Yeah,
seen a
he's
performance
a
like
great
that?
player, and one of the best I've ever been around. And what makes him great is not just his talent. And people see that, and that's obvious. I mean, you can see it when he steps out on the field. He's one of the biggest, fastest, strongest guys. But at the same time, the work ethic that he has, the drive that he has, and how he competes and holds everybody accountable each and every day. And that's what makes Mike Parsons such a great player.
I'd imagine that on the sideline, maybe you're thinking this is a game where we got to put up points and a lot of points, and to see the play by Micah and Garrett to get that touchdown. What's that feeling like to see that happen?
It's awesome. When defense puts points on the board, it makes the offense's job a lot easier, and it also gives us a lot of momentum because they were moving it pretty well. Their offense was moving it pretty well in the first half, and we had to pick the defense up a little bit. But at the same time, it's it's football. It's a balance, and that's how this game goes. And I threw an interception today, which should not have happened, completely on my fault and on my shoulders. But they bounced back and got us a score and kind of flipped momentum. So very appreciative of those guys, and just very appreciative of the opportunity that I have here.
And the fact that it's Garrett and his last game, and to have that kind of moment as a younger player, what's that like to see a senior like that make the play like that?
Yeah, you dream of moments like that. GT is one of the hardest working, if not the hardest working guys in this program. He comes into work every single day with a plan. Comes into work every single day to get everybody around him better, and that's what makes him great, and that's why he's in position to make those plays. Just super excited for 1-7, and he's going to go on and do great things.
Hey, Sean, is everything in place for this team to make the playoffs next year?
Yes. That's it.
That'd be the expectation.
Yes, that's the expectation. It's always nice to use this bowl game to catapult into the next year. I'm trying to stay present, trying to stay. I only have a certain amount of time with guys like GT that we were talking before, guys like Gonzo. So I'm not trying to think about that just right now. But we'll set our goals out. The playoffs will obviously be in there, and I think that we have the talent to do it. So.
Will you give KJ a pitch to stay at all? Have you even thought about that? Is that something
A
you will
pitch?
think about? Yeah.
I mean, I've been pitching him all year, because he's one of those guys who could obviously leave this year if he wants. It's hard to give a guy a pitch you've known since 8th grade.
Okay.
So whatever he does, I'm 100% on his side. Love that dude to death. One of my closest friends in the world, and whatever he does, very proud of him. Very happy to be a part of the same team.
How often in your career have you seen running lanes like the ones the offensive line were blowing open?
That might have been one of the best running game performances I've ever seen, and that's because of the offensive line. It's because of guys like that, Journey Brown, Noah Kane, Devin Ford, Ricky Slade, all those guys hitting the holes, and then it's guys on the perimeter too, making blocks. And we talk about whatever it takes, or do whatever it takes to win the game, and that's what we did today.